Imagine a serene evening ambience set against a breathtakingly romantic backdrop. The soft glow of twinkling lights, the sweet fragrance of blooming flowers, and the gentle rustle of leaves all converge to create an intimate atmosphere. A sumptuous dinner, replete with exquisite flavors and fine wine, awaits the lovely couple. It's the perfect setting for Jack and Tu Tien to rekindle their romance, to get lost in each other's eyes, and to let their love blossom. The cuddly weather beckons them to cozy up, to share sweet nothings, and to cherish every moment together. But alas, their romantic escapade is constantly disrupted by an unwelcome third wheel, who insistently wedges themselves into the picture. Wishing everyone a wonderful and a blessed day full of joy, hope, and love. Before proceeding, please note that this video is intended for review, recap, and reaction purposes, adhering to YouTube's community guidelines, offering critique and analysis. Viewer discretion advised. This video may also be available in some selected languages. Please click the gear button and go to captions, then click auto translate to check your language. The trip that Jack, Tu Tien, and Ton had been planning has indeed come to fruition. Despite initial reservations, the three set off together, bound by a shared desire to make the trip unforgettable. However, beneath the surface of their collective enthusiasm, both Jack and Ton harbored a sense of unease. They had both confessed that they weren't entirely comfortable with the awkward dynamics of the three of them traveling together. The tension was palpable, a delicate dance of unspoken emotions and veiled intentions. Yet, they had collectively decided to put Tu Tien's happiness first, acknowledging that the trip was primarily intended for her benefit. As they navigated the journey, the undercurrent of competition between Jack and Ton grew increasingly apparent. They couldn't help but engage in a subtle game of one-upmanship, each vying for Tu Tien's attention and affection. It was as though they were both helplessly drawn to her, like moths to a flame, each eager to capture her notice and secure her admiration. Tu Tien, blissfully oblivious to the underlying tension, reveled in the attention, her radiant smile only serving to further fuel the rivalry between the two men. Tu Tien's heartfelt toast was a poignant moment, filled with genuine emotion. She expressed her deepest gratitude to Jack, her loving boyfriend, for bringing joy and love into her life. Additionally, she thanked Ton, whom she had grown to regard as an older brother. However, despite Tu Tien's sincere words, the undercurrent of tension between Jack and Ton persisted. Ton continued to subtly rival Jack, refusing to relinquish his claim on Tu Tien's attention. For every affectionate gesture or romantic remark Jack made towards Tu Tien, Ton would counter with an equally charming or thoughtful act, determined not to be outdone. This silent rivalry had become a delicate dance, with each man carefully calibrating his movements to outmaneuver the other. Jack, driven by his desire to protect and cherish his relationship with Tu Tien, felt compelled to respond in kind. He couldn't help but feel a twinge of insecurity, sensing that Ton's intentions might not be entirely pure. as the evening wore on. The tension between Jack and Tone simmered just below the surface, waiting to boil over into a confrontation. As they strolled through the picturesque landscape, Jack's phone rang. He excused himself to answer the call from his superior, discussing his impending return to work. Tone, sensing an opportunity, turned his attention to 2TN. With Jack momentarily absent, Tone seized the chance to confess his feelings to her. He gently took her hand, his touch sending a spark of surprise through her. 2TN's eyes widened, caught off guard by the sudden physical contact. Tone's intention was to insinuate doubts about Jack's sincerity, to plant a seed of uncertainty in 2TN's mind. But 2TN's conviction remained unwavering. She had witnessed the growth of her relationship with Jack. And despite Jack being surrounded by many women, she genuinely felt his sincerity. Tone's inquiry about 2TN's feelings towards him hung in the air, a palpable tension between them. 2TN's response was heartfelt, her admiration for Tone's kindness genuine. However, she regarded him solely as an older brother. A distinction that, while affectionate, was unequivocally platonic. The return of Jack's presence was a welcome reprieve for 2TN. She promptly stood beside him, her eyes shining with affection. Her gratitude towards Jack was evident, her joy in sharing the experience with him radiating from her very being. 2TN's gesture was a subtle declaration of her feelings, a reaffirmation of her bond with Jack. She also extended her appreciation to Tone, her request that he accept and cherish them as his younger sister and brother, a testament to her affection for him. Jack's face lit up with a wide smile, his eyes sparkling with delight. The confirmation of 2TN's feelings for both men, Jack as her lover and Tone as her older brother, was a heartening moment, a reaffirmation of their unique bond. Seizing the moment, Jack playfully teased Tone, asking him to accept the role of an older brother to both 2TN and himself. The conclusion of this pivotal moment in Jack and 2TN's story is shrouded in ambiguity, leaving a lingering question. Will Tone ultimately accept and respect 2TN's decision to be with Jack? However, it is imperative to bring this chapter in Jack and 2TN's narrative to a close. The love triangle scenario, though intriguing at first, has begun to test the viewer's patience. The concept itself, though fascinating in fiction, is not socially acceptable in reality. Prolonging this plot thread would only serve to undermine the story's credibility and relatability. It is time for Jack and 2TN's story to evolve, to explore new themes and emotions that will resonate with the audience. The characters have grown, and their relationships have become increasingly intricate. It is essential to acknowledge this growth and to guide the narrative toward a more satisfying and realistic conclusion. To wrap it up, I have to admit, I wasn't a fan of the episode, especially with the love triangle scenario still looming. The tension and drama between the characters were starting to feel overwhelming, and I wasn't sure how much more I could take. However, I tried to approach the episode from a different angle, imagining Tone in a more neutral role, like Jack and 2TN's personal driver, chef, butler, or their personal tour guide and bodyguard. By doing so, I attempted to find some redeeming qualities in the episode and view it in a more positive light. Otherwise, this episode would be added to those that weren't entirely to my liking. Share your thoughts. Feel free to leave your comment below with your theories and predictions.